Hi, Rob from New England Woodturning. We thought we'd do something a little bit different today. A lot of people have been requesting to have a look through the workshop rather than just looking at the sculptures and the gallery, things that we make in the gallery. Obviously it's important to have a nice gallery, but it's even more important to have a nice workshop where you make your stuff for your gallery. So we'll just take you around and show you some of the machinery and things that we have. This is a nice big bandsaw. I mill almost all of my own timber. Back in the day, I've got sheds of timber down the back from when we used to mill, which I'm now using up. So that's a nice big bandsaw, nice big blade in that one. This is a big bandsaw, but a little bit, we've got a smaller blade in this one that comes in handy. It's got good throat and depth on it. A sign I put up not long ago just to try and stop people asking to borrow my tools. Now this is the dust extractor that usually lives in front of the lathe that we'll be using. This is mobile. I can move this around. Important part of the workshop. Dust extraction. Keeps the workshop nice and clean. Got a nice old radial arm that I bought. Lovely old machine. I do like the old machines. They'll last forever compared to this modern rubbish. Thicknesser. We've got a beautiful drill press. Lovely solid drill press. Australian made drill press. Dust extraction with a dropout system. And it's a link to all these machines here. 6-inch jointer, a nice little bandsaw, which also has its own independent little dust extraction system on it. And as you can see, it's great, keeps it all nice and clean. And then down this end, this is where I do all my welding and my sculptures. Not the ideal thing to have timber and metal together, but really can't afford to build another separate shed, so my little welder and my little plasma cutter. Now these are some slabs that we've just milled up for a customer, and we've put these through the wood whiz. So what the wood whiz does is it actually flattens these slabs, so it makes them nice and flat. A lot of people get nice slabs, try and do them by hand, and they just can't get them flat. On the wood whiz, both sides will be like a sheet of glass. So that's all local ironbark, that stuff. This is my wood whiz, buried at the moment in projects that are coming up. But anything that fits with inside that white frame can be flattened. It's got a triple head cutter. One day we might even put that in action and make a video of it, because it is quite interesting. Got a lovely old scroll saw here that I'm in the process of doing up, eventually when I get time. Big old lathe over the back there, pattern maker's lathe. I used to do a lot of production turning on that, bed posts, veranda posts, etc. A lot of the timber over there that I've got ready for projects, and some of the square stuff we have there is actually for sale. If anybody's looking for a bit of timber for turning, we've got a very few limited amount of bowl blanks left, but we have got some nice square stuff there in a variety of species. And then down here, this is my little jet lathe, and I use this now. I've made a jig for faceplate flattening, cutting recesses. Beautiful little thing. Might even show that one day, depending on what interest there is. And then this, of course, is my wood fast lathe, and this is where I do most of my turning. And we've got a project set up that we'll be doing today for you, but we'll run through all that in a minute. I normally have the dust extractor sitting here, and I have extraction on everything, and it just helps to keep the workshop clean. And it's lovely to walk in the morning and your workshop's nice and clean. I get a lot of people come in and they look at the workshop and they go, oh, this is too clean. Do you do any work? Well, yes, I do, but I clean up too. So we've got some nice bench space there. We've got lots of nice undercover bench space right around the workshop. But today, we're going to do a little turning project for you. So I've just showed you around the workshop. I've got some lovely gear, some lovely old stuff. But the heart and the soul of the whole workshop, believe it or not, is this. This is your sharpening centre. Got a white wheel, aluminium oxide, a good platform for stability for grinding your tools, and a buffing wheel set up on the end that we use green chrome on to buff the tools. So what I'm going to do today, a lot of people request to see a little bit of turning. So what we're going to do today is actually make some cutlery tool handles. These are the cheese knives that we make out of camphor that end up over in the workshop, and a lot of people like the camphor to go with the camphor cheese boards that we make. So we'll be doing a few of them today. And these are the blanks that we've done in camphor laurel. They've been pre-drilled. So what we do is we pre-drill them, and the cutlery blank will go in there. It's a nice tight fit, and that's glued in with 2-part epoxy resin. So we'll slowly show you the process of how to do that. So there are our blocks ready to go. The heart and the soul of the whole workshop is sharpening. Back in the day when I used to teach carving and turning, the emphasis I used to put on sharpening your tools, in my opinion, 95% of woodwork is sharp tools. You can have the best tool money can buy. You can have the best workshop that money can buy, the best setup, the best timber. If these tools aren't sharp, you're going to achieve nothing. When I used to do classes, people used to bring their tools to use in class, and I used to say to them, how sharp do you think your tools are? And you'd often see them going like this, and I'd say, you do that once with that and your thumb's on the ground. They're razor sharp, surgical edge, and you'll see when they turn just how sharp they are. If you want to test how sharp a tool is, do it on a piece of wood, and you can see there's no effort in that whatsoever. Nice, but we'll be turning it in a minute. So white wheel, aluminium oxide, good grinding platform, a slow revving grinder. This grinder runs at half the speed of a normal grinder, so it's specifically for grinding, and I do nothing else on this other than sharpening. For sharpening. I do nothing on this other than sharpening, and another very important thing, keeping your wheel dressed so that it's in good condition. Diamond laps for bringing the hone up, for bringing the burr up on your tools when you're honing them. The 3 main tools we'll be using to do these, and remembering that I've been turning for 35 something years, and I do it almost all day, every day, so I have literally done thousands of those. These are the 3 tools that I'll be using. Roughing gouge, 3/4 inch roughing gouge, 1/2 inch spindle gouge, and a parting tool. They're the 3 tools to turn these. And the most critical thing is surgical edge sharp. Can't emphasize that enough. And I used to say to people in classes, they'd say, I want to come and do classes with you, and I'd say, how important do you think sharpening is? And if they said, I'm not really interested in sharpening, that doesn't really interest me, I just want to make lots of things, my response usually to that was, go and play golf. So it's very important to keep these surgical edge sharp. So we'll go through the process now. and we'll turn a couple of these, and I'll just explain what I'm doing as I go along. An interesting bit of gear that I use is what they refer to as a steb center, and that's basically your drive center. I love using these because you don't have to wait for the lathe to stop. You can take your project in and out rather than a set drive center. And also eye protection. Believe me, it is better to wear that, no matter how uncomfortable it is, rather than having to go to an eye doctor and get your eye reamed out with a Dremel. Believe me, it's not fun. So what we'll do is we'll put a piece in and we'll turn it. So you probably can't hear me now. Yep. So there's one done. As you can see, beautiful timber, camphor laurel. So you can, I always say with turning, it's not just seeing how the shavings come off, it's actually, you can actually hear it. You get that lovely hissing sound. And there's no stress on the machine and the operator. So we'll do another one. Now the important thing with sharp tools is your actual finish. If you have a look at that, it's very smooth. It's a smooth cut. It doesn't look like a dog has chewed it off. So when you're sanding, all you're doing basically is getting rid of these little ripples. So we'll do another one. so nice clean cut. Won't take much sanding to do that, and I might as well do these 5 while we're going. And the other thing is, well, I'll show you in a sec, we'll get some nice shavings happening. So just to show you, if you have a look at that, it's actually shiny, and there's no torn grain on that whatsoever. And you can usually tell if a blade's running nicely, you'll get them nice big long shavings. These are only small now because of taking the corners off. But very important, sharp tools. Basically, with good sharp tools, the wood basically just falls off in front of the blade. So normally I have my dust extractor set up here, which we will do in a minute when we're sanding. But in normal conditions when we're not filming, I have the dust extractor set up here and it's running the whole time I'm turning, just to get rid of any dust. So we'll do one more. Okay, so that's 5 turned. I do them all freehand, and it just gives them a little bit of variation. People like different sizes and lengths and thicknesses, so we do them all freehand. So what we'll do now is we'll go through the sanding process, but if you have a close look at those, they're all turned and they're actually shiny. Basically what we're doing now is just getting rid of these little tool ripples. We're not trying to get under where it's all torn out and looks like it's been chewed by a dog. So we'll now just set up the dust extractor. So now we'll do the sanding process. Normally I do the whole process in one hit, but we need to have the dust extractor going now, and you'll see how much dust will go up the extractor. I normally have it going all the time I'm turning, but so that we could talk and it wasn't in the way, we didn't use it when we did the bit of turning. So now what we're going to do is just get rid of those little bit of ripples. There's no tear out. it's all nice and smooth, but it'll just blend those shapes and get rid of some of these ripples in it. So that's important to do. We get rid of that so that we can get our fingers all around it without catching them in that, because that bloody hurts. And the paper, we'll use a bit of 180 and a bit of 240. 120, 180, 240, just to blend those shapes, just to get them nice. So we'll go through that process. But this process, a lot of people think that sanding really is to get rid of where it's all torn out and shredded and all bad. No, you can overcome that with sharp tools, and I'll just demonstrate that again to show you just how sharp these tools are. That just slices that off, no effort whatsoever, and you can see. And you always get that nice sort of a hissing sound. You can see, well, what we'll do is we'll do this. And if you have a look at that, that is actually shiny and polished. It's so cleanly cut. So we'll get rid of that. Now I won't try and talk over the top of the extractor and the lathe running. I'll go through the process and then I'll explain to you what I've done. So extractor on first. That's that one done. Done. Okay, so that's 3 of them done. We won't do all of them. There's no need to. I don't want to bore everybody with it. But that now is a lovely handle. And the exciting bit is still to come when we actually put the finish on it. Now these have to be glued and everything, and there's a bit of work has to be done to them. We won't do that boring bit, but like on a lot of the good cooking shows, we have some ones that are pre-done, and we'll just show you what they come up like when we hit them with a bit of finish. So the most important thing, sharpen your tools or go and play golf. Good quality tools. Keep your workshop nice and neat. Dust extraction, make sure protect your eyes. Believe me, it hurts when you get stuff in your eyes. And I hope you enjoyed it. As I say, a lot of people have been requesting to see a few things done in the workshop, so step 1. If you like it, if you'd like to see more different things, hit like, hit share and all that sort of stuff, and that way we'll know you're interested, and we'll do something different each time. The only thing that we've got to do now is to put a little bit of finish on the finished ones. So this is the bit that I like, actually putting the little bit of finish. Now, what we use is food safe oil. We sell it here in the gallery for people that have got breadboards and things. All your wooden stuff that comes in contact with food really needs to be oiled, to be protected and so that it doesn't warp, shrink, twist and crack. This is the one that we use. We find this by far the best. So this is the interesting bit. Now, remembering that I have done thousands of these over the years. So hopefully it's not boring. So this is odorless, tasteless and clear, but as soon as you hit that with a bit of oil, as I say, this is the bit that I like, just to see what we end up with. And we normally give it 2 or 3 coats of the oil, but nice bit of camphor oil, bloody nice cheese knife. We'll do one more. This one's got a nice bit of colour to it. So it really transforms them, putting a bit of oil on them. And some of the ones that we did over there, I'll just put a little bit of oil on this one here, just to show you the colours in it. So this is the fun bit. So as you can see, beautiful colouring coming out. And when that's been on there for half an hour or so, that will considerably darken and be even more prominent colours. So hopefully you liked it. As I said, we're not out to make millions of videos, but we have been so many requests to do something in the workshop. Hope you like it. Hope you didn't find it boring. As I say, I've done thousands of these over the years, so it's pretty boring to me, but might be interesting to you. But if you want to see more, let us know, like it, share it, all that sort of stuff. Contact us, and we'll just very quickly take you over to the gallery and I'll show you the selection of all the cutlery that we do. So if you'd like to pay us a visit, come and have a look at the gallery and the sculptures. We're constantly upgrading and making the gallery even nicer. Lots to do, lots to see, and certainly well worth a visit. We're 29 Ponds Road, Gilgai, and hopefully you'll come out and see us. and have a look at what we do. So this is a range of the cutlery. You can see the handles that I've turned here. So this is all stuff in our gallery that's for sale and to view. As you can see, I do lots of handles, all in different species, lots of different things, and we've got another cupboard full here.